Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life.
Hats.
Brendo, how are we?
Pretty well, mate. Hectic morning already.
Hectic morning. Why hectic?
Because what we're about to get into.
Yeah, this is going to be the best one ever.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's only downhill from here. I think.
Yeah, possibly.
But there's no pressure.
No, that's right. That's right. So we are in the garage on the Queen's Day of Mourning, Thursday. That's not doxy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm devastated.
Anyway,
bye.
But the exciting thing is, we have not one guest, but two guests in the garage.
Yeah, special guests.
Who have we got, Hats?
Well, we've got the whole reason for us doing this podcast at all. Yeah, the whole reason that we're doing this podcast at all is that we met, and the reason we met is because we have kids that go to they're the same age and go to the same school, and they are here. They've been wanting to do this for a little while, and we've been keen to have them on, so we finally got it sorted.
Yep.
And do you want to introduce yourselves? Who wants to go first? Go for it.
I'm Itty. I'm Bitty.
And who are you together?
The Itty Bitty Idiots.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. So Itty is Hats's daughter.
Yeah.
And I've got Bitty over here, and we've got two mics. We both have each kid on our laps, and we're going to talk about what?
Bitcoin.
Yes.
Like you always do.
That's right. Now, we do have to warn you, and I think we did pre-warn you anyway, this about the doxx jar. So you guys know about the doxx jar?
Yeah, told me about.
Oh, there you go. You've already done it.
Yay, that's a good one. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, Dad'll pay.
Anyway, I just got slapped in the face.
That's great. Well, there's one. It's okay. We do it all the time.
Yeah. So, that's
I
one.
don't have enough sats for that.
Okay, don't worry. You won't have. We'll pay the sats. I told her last
You just
time.
did it as well, by the way.
Did I just call it? Did I? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Team this team,
Yeah.
this team
All right.
here.
All right. What a great start. Okay,
You
so.
can say on the thing when you beep it out. Sorry, just had to beep it out. Two of us said it.
You've also got to be near the mic, Dylan.
Yeah, you got to talk. Don't lean. Talking to the mic.
Yeah. All right. So
this is going to be difficult.
Well, there you go. There we go. So I told Bitty last night that she would have to pay the doxx, but I was only kidding. I'll cover the doxx.
Oh, damn it.
Doxx fines.
Doxx, okay. I reckon you should pay your own. I'm joking. It's okay. So where do we start?
I don't know. Believe it or not, I didn't prepare.
Yeah. So okay.
Sorry, mate. I think you are going to have to get closer.
Am
to
I
the
a bit
mic.
far away? Okay.
Yeah, I might bump you a bit.
What? Well, let's start here. What do you guys know about Bitcoin? I'm not going to ask you any questions about Bitcoin, but what do you know just from the stuff that you hear us talking about? Either of you can jump in on that one.
Well, it's I guess virtual money that you have to have like 10,000 sats or something to have one Bitcoin, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin in the world.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So not even everyone in Australia can have Bitcoin.
So it's a few more sats than that.
But your 21 million is bang on.
Yep.
It's 100 million sats in each Bitcoin, but you're absolutely bang on the number of Bitcoins that will ever be.
Ever be.
Well, what do you know?
Well, you have told me lots, but I sometimes forget all the little details.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Bitty, for the record, I told you most of that yesterday.
I have
remembered.
told her before.
But basically, what she said is a virtual money. It doesn't have a bank, so you can just go straight from one person to the other. And
Nice.
Good.
And well, I know lots more than that, but I can't remember.
That's pretty good. On
It's
the way over here with Bitty, she was kind of asking me what we were going to talk about, and so we just talk about Bitcoin. She goes, "But I don't know much about Bitcoin." Almost did it. I'm going to pay that. Itty knows so much more about Bitcoin, and I said, well, that's pretty much the same between Hats and I.
Well,
I know little. Hats knows much more.
Okay, but I've been doing this since another 3 or 4 years more than you. Is that somewhere near there? So this just logical, right?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I've peaked.
You've peaked. No, I don't think it's true. But so everybody over time, if you're not, like it's the same with anything. Like if you do something for longer, you get to know more about it, and you get, in theory, should get better at it, and all that kind of stuff. It's like anything. You practice anything, you get better at it. So that's totally understandable. But I have been rattling on in your ear for years, I guess. So you probably maybe do know a little bit more.
I like how Itty puts a hand up. Can you do that, Bitty?
Well, I just thought, because usually you hear, like, if you practice, you get better at something about, like, sports or drawing and stuff. And I love how you say it about Bitcoin, because that's so different to what most people say it about.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's everything, really.
It sounds weird, because, like, mostly it's something that you do, but for you it's knowing.
Well, yeah. Well, do you remember this you got your hand up as well? Is that hand up?
Yeah, but after.
No. Yeah, go on.
You go.
I'll wait.
You go. You just don't cover your mouth, baby.
With your request, Daddy, I am not really used to doing that when I don't know. I just had something in my head.
And it's gone.
That's all right.
okay.
That happens
We'll
to
come
me
back. We'll
all
come
the
back.
time. Yeah, remember what I used to say to you as the golfer? Do you remember what that saying is?
I just remember there was a golfer and practicing and something like that.
Yeah, so the more you practice,
the luckier you get.
there you go. So you do remember, right? So
1 point for me, I remember that.
So it's the same with absolutely everything. The more you practice, the better you get. And he just says the luckier you get because everybody likes to call us lucky, but we're not lucky. We're practicing.
Yes.
So all you friends that do, I don't know, you got some friends that are on in shows in like the theatre. You got some friends that are good sports swimmers or whatever. They practice all the time, right? Gymnasts or dancers or whatever they are.
And they love it. That's the other point.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're much more likely to get better at something that you enjoy.
Yes.
There's no point in doing something you don't enjoy.
Yeah. Did you remember what you wanted to talk about or ask?
No.
No? Okay, all right.
All right.
You guys were so loud before we started, and now everyone's gone
I
quiet.
know. It's okay. It's okay. You'll forget about all of this in a little bit. This is what happened to us to begin with too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what about just the money conversation? Do we just talk about what they know money as?
Yeah, go for it.
You want to tell me what you believe money to be? Not Bitcoin, just current money.
Well, current money, it could be in a credit card, or like you could store it in a bank, like not really a virtual bank, unless like there's some apps on your phone where you could have a virtual bank. There's paper notes and there's coins. There is no such sense as 1 cent anymore.
Correct.
And
why do you think that is? Why do you think there's no more 1 and 2 cent coins?
because they're pretty much useless.
Why do you think they're useless?
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know, but this morning I thought if something was like, let's say 79 or 99 cents, and you paid like 80 cents or 75, if you paid 80 cents, they couldn't give you any change back.
Yes, because there's no 1 cent coin. If they, exactly. So when I was about probably maybe even younger than you guys, so there used to be a little sweet shop, a lolly shop, and you used to get a thing called a 10 pence mix-up, right? Which was 10 little 1 penny sweets, and you got 10 of them for 10 pence, which was right. And then, there was a half penny.
Yep.
Right, and then they they got rid of the half penny,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you couldn't get it anymore because the price of the sweets got more, so the value of the coin got less. Does that make sense? So basically, even I'm trying to think of things that you guys might have seen it in. So if you've maybe seen the size of something get a bit smaller, have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Like chocolate bars?
Chocolate bars or something,
really
and crisps, or maybe Pringles. I think have got smaller. Go for it.
Well, your hand doesn't go down there in the tube anymore.
Well,
Okay, fat hand.
let's say something like Hershey's or Toblerone. They have eventually, people have made them big sizes.
Do you know, I'll tell you something about Toblerone, right? Now you're bringing up Toblerones. They actually removed. They actually made the space between the big sticky up bits wider, so there's less chocolate in a Toblerone than there used to be.
Of course, they have.
Okay, so that's basically what would I say? To confuse you, to make you think that you're still getting the same for the same amount of money. But everybody's smart, right? Kids are smart. You can look at stuff and go, "Oh, that's not really the same." I swear a Big Mac is not as big as a Big Mac ever used to be. From McDonald's, or what other things would go on?
Well, I think that, like you were saying about McDonald's and stuff, you always see it in like the adverts, and it's huge. It's giant in the person's hand. They can't even hold it.
Yeah.
And then I see when you get one from the drive-thru, and it's this tiny little thing, almost like for a doll.
Exactly. And that's there's a word for that. It's called shrinkflation. It's when things it's the same price, or actually it's probably still even more expensive, but it's actually got smaller. And then they'll introduce something else to pretend like this is the new thing. Yeah.
And okay.
I'm just glad to make it big like they do in the ads, that they don't, like, I guess, like, we would want a big Big Mac like they do in the ads, but don't think that's possible, so I'm just glad that they don't put sticks in our things to hold it up, because that would be bad.
Or the stick at the top of a burger to keep it together.
But,
Is that what you mean?
they put little toothpicks in them to raise it and make it look bigger and show everything.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that.
Oh, in the food presentation thing.
Yeah,
It's a very
and like
specific skill, actually.
and sponges, and they mix glue and all that to make it.
All right, I didn't even know that. There you go. Go for it.
Somebody, I don't remember who it was, someone once told me that in ice cream adverts, like the ice cream that you buy like in those little plastic packs, so not the ones you get from ice cream shops where they do real ice cream, but those ones, sometimes they use like mashed potato with colouring in it to be the ice cream and not actual ice cream.
So this is in the ads or the photos.
So it doesn't melt for the advert?
Yeah, probably. Okay, yes?
I'm just saying that I told her that.
Oh, yeah, okay, there you go.
There you go.
So you both told each other something.
There you go.
Nice work.
They're quite strong-headed girls, these two.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Both of them. So really what's happening there with all of those things that are changing is that they either stay exactly the same, and and the people who are making them make the price go up and up and up and up and up and up, and then it's very obvious to people you're paying more for something all the time. But so instead of doing that, what they do is change the product so that it makes you think, is this me? Is this the crisps used to be smaller than or bigger than this, or that kind of thing?
I just think it's weird how we went from what I think money is to mashed potato ice cream.
Yes.
I know, quickly, right?
Entirely. And this is what we do.
I didn't get a turn. I didn't get a
Go on.
turn.
You want a turn? Go on. What's your turn?
Well, I think that money, because it used to be like actual gold coins and stuff, and it had paper notes. They were actually worth something, but now it's just metal coloured gold, and it isn't worth anything at all if you actually think about it.
Yep.
If I got a piece of metal right now, cut it into a circle and printed something on it, no one would think that it was good, but because the money is apparently money, they just all think it's worth something.
Yeah.
But money...
So it's kind of a lie.
It's only worth something because people think it's worth something, and because people use it to buy things. If no one used it to buy things, it wouldn't be worth anything anymore.
Can I ask you a question, Itty? Does your dad ever talk to you about anything other than Bitcoin?
No.
Because you are very educated on this.
Never. Well, sometimes, but like...
Sometimes talk about other things, or sometimes talk about Bitcoin.
Sometimes he does throw in the tiniest dad joke here and there, but mostly it's just long lectures about Bitcoin.
How are his dad jokes? Are they terrible?
They're dad jokes. Of
Yeah.
course they're terrible.
Oh, well.
I'm just saying I agree with Itty when she said that, like, the only reason why coins is valuable is because people agreed that it was valuable. But I think the reason why they stopped using gold was like, it was harder to find, and it was like softer, so it was easier to like squish. Like, it wasn't the hardest material like metal.
Well,
Yep.
and not only that, they could kind of, I guess, how do you explain kind of coin clipping and stuff?
So every coin, if you're going to have a gold coin, it has to be exactly perfectly the same. Yeah, so that everybody's spending exactly the same amount of money. But what they used to do,
So Rome and stuff.
olden days, was the person who was in charge of the coins actually used to get the coins and then clip tiny little bits off the edge of the coin, and then they would keep all the little bits of clippings
and then melt them down,
and make another coin.
Yeah.
That's not very fair either, is it? It's basically just
cheating.
like stealing people's money. But the hard thing about gold, the good thing about gold, the gold is very scarce. You guys are right. So so that's why it was probably the best money that there was. But it's also very heavy, and it's like it's very hard to split it into things that are exactly the same. So everybody just can't go around with bits of gold in their pocket, or if you got a lot of money, you can't go around with like a big gold bar, and you can't go, we
can't go to see, go to Ireland and see your auntie.
You wouldn't
with our money in gold.
And then you couldn't go into like a coffee shop and buy a coffee or a hot chocolate or something with a gold bar, because the people wouldn't have any way to change it back for you. So that's why, in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is very, very similar to gold, but it's just not a physical thing. So where you guys play Roblox, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk Roblox. So, and the things that are good in these games are things that they call scarce, right? Or rare or whatever.
Limited,
right? So you guys understand that things that are limited are good things. So that's what they're trying to bring in there. But they have, what's their currency called in? Robux.
Yeah, really creative.
Yeah, so they've got Robux, but then you can spend Robux within the game, but you can't then spend it anywhere else.
You can't spend Robux on Fortnite or some other...
Or you couldn't go to the shop and buy something in the shop with Robux. So we need something that is both digital and that we can divide it into lots of little pieces, and we can spend it anywhere. Go for it.
Well, you told me when we're getting Robux, so you can't spend it, but Robux still, like, basically anything that you can buy is money, because you can trade it for money, so anything could be money, really. I have some dolls, and they were obviously worth something. You can't get them for free, and that means that they're money because you had to trade them for money, so obviously... Well, I think that they're worth it.
Yeah. Well, that's totally true. Anything could be money. Anything. It's going back to what Bitty said before. Just believe. If you believe it's, or who said it? One of you said it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. If you believe it's money, then it's money. And if enough people believe it's money, then it's money.
Well, the other point is someone else has to agree.
Exactly. So let's say you guys were wanting to trade. You wanted to do something, and you decided that, Bitty had a pair of roller skates, and you had a doll. And the two of you wanted to swap those things. Well, that's fine if you both agree. Exactly, right? So you're already shaking your head. So if you agreed that the value of the doll and the value of the roller skate was exactly the same and you both wanted to swap them over, no problem. You can just swap them over and that's all good. But if one of you said, well, my doll is worth more than your roller skates, or I don't want your doll, or that kind of thing, then you need something in the middle that you can both agree that's worth something. And that's what money is, really. The thing we use to exchange back and forward. That make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
What else we got?
What's it like to have an obsessed Bitcoin dad?
Oh, you have to ask Itty that.
Oh, we can go both. I think there could be a bit of both in there.
Well, Dad isn't as he describes how.
That's a dox. Ting that. That's all right. That's all right. Keep going.
He
Keep going.
describes how much Hats is obsessed with Bitcoin. But Dad, I guess sometimes he sits in the room and he doesn't really talk to me that much about Bitcoin.
Oh, sorry. Okay. He doesn't spend any time with it.
He's always on Twitter.
No, I don't. And maybe I should.
Bitcoin, no.
Yeah, don't cover your mouth. I can. If you want to talk more about Bitcoin with me, I'm more than happy to do it. I keep trying to remind you to do your fold spins.
Oh yeah.
I haven't done that in a few months.
I don't know.
Every day.
I don't even know if I've done my fold spins in I don't know how long.
Wow.
But you tell me about it all the time.
I know,
it's crazy. Mm-hmm. You're always like, oh, I've just got to go to the office and edit this podcast. And I'm like, did you do another podcast? And he's like, oh, yeah, we're on podcast 1,001,601 or something.
Yeah. So tell me this. If you... Oh, well, I'll go back to I'll ask the previous question to you as well. What was it like to have an obsessed Bitcoin dad?
it's okay, I guess. Like, it's very boring sometimes when you just go on and on. But
Is it embarrassing when I talk to everybody about it?
It is for your mum, I think. That's how I noted the first time I heard about it.
well, I don't know. It's just you do go on and on about it to everyone, but it's kind of like while you go on and on about it, I sort of go, oh yeah, well, Bitcoin is kind of good. It's just a bit annoying when you do it all the time.
Fair enough. Yeah, Betty.
Working on Itty's point, Dad, I don't really want you to, when you ask me that, I don't really want you to go on and on and on about it. Otherwise, it's probably going to turn boring very fast.
Yes, I'm sure. Okay, I promise I won't.
Maybe there should be rules. Maybe we need to have rules as to when we can talk about it, when we can't.
But I think for Hats and I, doing this podcast is actually a good outlet for us, personally anyway, because we obviously want to talk about Bitcoin. So maybe really us doing this is a favour for you guys. We're saving you.
Oh, yeah, we're legends, us.
Yeah, great dads. Oh, do you know what? Sorry, just to digress really quickly. I was at Woolies yesterday, the day before. There was a guy busking out the front. And he had, obviously, his guitar case open. And
Tell me he's got a QR code.
No, but I said if you took Bitcoin, I'd tip you.
Oh,
Just plant those seeds. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's good. Well, I had a chat with a financial advisor yesterday. And Yeah. And I was asking, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, but I'm really interested, but I don't understand it." I was like, "Okay." but you're right. It's when. So I used to talk at, and I'm probably still doing in a lot of ways, but at people about why they should like it and why it's important. But because we do this, I'm more talking to this now and to the people who are listening to the podcast than I am just our friends that come to the house, because I've sort of spoken to them, and they're, the ones that have been interested are sort of interested now. The ones that weren't interested have kind of given up a little bit. I'm still there to talk to them if they want to, but I'm not going to just drive our friends away.
The other thing you get really good at too is the ability to turn any conversation into a Bitcoin conversation. That's what I've found. So Bitcoin for me, when I'm talking to somebody who's had got a problem with their job or cost of living, all that kind of stuff, it all obviously comes back to Bitcoin. So it's almost opportunistic, I suppose, for me to kind of jump in and say, well,
you get better and better at that over time, right?
Yeah. And I've already noticed that, I think, personally.
I definitely get that, because whenever I'm talking to Dad about like some sort of problem that has nothing to do with Bitcoin, he always, I don't even know if he consciously does it, but he always finds a way to go, and he doesn't even mention it in the whole conversation, and then we get to the very end and he goes, and that's why Bitcoin's good, and I'm like, all of that for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I do that. That's totally fair. So do any of your friends know, firstly, have any of my annoying rabbiting in your ear about Bitcoin made you talk about this at all with any of your friends, other than Bitty over there, because she's getting it as well, or you're outside of you two guys? Or have you ever heard anybody mention anything to do with Bitcoin at school?
I think we have like mentioned it to some of our friends. When we said that we're going on our dad's podcast, they were kind of like, hold on, what? Even though we've told them a tiny bit about it before. I feel like they sort of know what it is, but they don't, like, they know what it's called. They sort of know that it's maybe like some sort of thing to do with money, obviously.
What do your friends think podcasts are? What do they think they are?
They know what podcasts are. They don't really know about Bitcoin.
Okay.
But everyone knows.
They would be going to school probably, to escape Bitcoin talk. So you know what I mean?
True.
When yesterday, when I was telling one of my friends about it, and I said the word podcast, she was like, "What's a podcast?" And then my other friend came over, and I was like, "Can you explain to her what a podcast is?" And she still didn't get it.
So it's almost like if you were to go, you listen to the radio, and they just say, "What's a radio?"
Yeah, it's funny, right? So do you guys? I mean, you've got to sit in the car.
Audiobooks.
Well, audiobooks, but yeah. What do you guys do in your car?
Spotify all the time.
Listen to music,
Fight over
Spotify.
over
So you
the
never
tracks.
listen to radio at all?
like
I
someone's.
can't stand radio.
I know, I'm the same. I'm getting
If
that way.
it's me and my brother in someone's car, like in our parents' car, it's one of us is in shotgun, and one of us gets to choose the music.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Like-
I'm more than happy to put podcasts on, and I've tried it in the car, and no one ever
Because
agrees.
podcasts don't have to be Bitcoin podcasts, to be anything.
No. Oh, sometimes we put on comedy, like stand-up comedy.
Who was first?
Edie.
It.
You're
I
next.
feel like all that I ever do in the car is either I do listen to music sometimes, or mostly I just read a book or fiddle with something that I've brought. But Dad always tells me, "Why don't you want to talk to me?" And I'm like, "Because I'm reading a book."
I know. No, you are a little bookworm. You love your books, and which is helpful because we have a local friendly librarian who does personal
Personal
deliveries.
deliveries, yeah, pretty good.
And you like podcasts way better because you read so slowly.
I'm a terrible reader. That is true.
I think we've said it every second pod.
I know. Yeah, what can I do?
Okay,
only got one
Biddy,
thing to say.
your turn.
Do you remember
What
it?
You had your hand up.
oh yeah, I forgot.
Okay, that's all right. You know what we should have done? I
It
know
was-
Itty and Bitty is cute, but the listeners aren't going to know like when each is talking. So if we said we should have called you Brenda, and you Harriet.
No, I think that they wouldn't get it even if we had different names because we both have the sort of
Similar voice.
no offense, Biddy, similar voice.
No,
Actually,
they
what-
totally do, totally do.
What happened to your Scottish accent?
Yeah.
That would have been helpful.
Can you do a Scottish accent?
Oh, really badly.
Try one.
No, I sound like Granny.
She
Try it. Try it.
No.
Yesterday
no.
she did a
No.
yesterday she did a French accent.
Oh, did you?
She tried
Accidentally.
to, and it sounded really Scottish.
It sounded really terrible.
Okay,
Really?
can you try a French accent then?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to try a Scottish accent?
Oh, wait, no. Dad,
Yeah.
do that thing that, the thing that if you say something in one voice, it sounds like in the, the one that
Oh, we'll get.
you always get me to do that.
Do you want to do it? Do you want? Or do
Yeah,
you
do it. No,
want
you
No.
do it. I don't
to
know what
it?
you're talking about.
Oh, maybe we should get Brenda to do it.
Yeah, we should tell him.
So if you
Oh,
say,
yeah, I know the one.
if you say,
You've done
let me
this to
remember
me.
this. If you say the words, what is it again?
Spice Girls, isn't it?
No, it's Space Ghetto.
Oh, yeah.
SPACE
Yeah.
in an American accent. You sound like a Scottish girl saying
Say
Spice Girls.
That's right. Ready? Space Ghetto. Space Ghettos. Gotta go. Is
You say Scottish?
Space Ghettos. Space Ghettos.
Space Ghettos.
Space.
Now, Daddy, you just do what you would do as a Scottish accent.
I need something to say in a Scottish accent. You want me to do a Scottish accent?
Yeah, just
Okay.
say like, "Hi, I'm Brenda."
Hi, I'm Brendel. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Well, it wasn't the worst.
It's like something out of Brave.
People in our class always go, "Look at me, I'm doing a Scottish accent," and then they get it horribly wrong.
Okay. Have you got anybody in your school that's from other countries?
Well, from Scotland.
Oh,
Which?
Kai.
The one in our class.
Is that's not really
Oh,
doxy,
right.
is it?
Okay.
That's not doxy.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Random.
Well, there's. Yeah, sorry. No, well, let's probably not do that. But there's a couple, and there's another boy from South America somewhere. Is there not? Maybe Brazil or Argentina.
Oh yeah.
You have a boy
From
from
our
Brazil?
class?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah. Because there's a thing. So some countries have this problem way worse than us. We've got this problem, but where everything gets more expensive. Can you imagine if I said to you, okay, at Christmas time you get a bunch of presents, but by March I'll take away 3/4 of them because you don't own them anymore. How would you feel?
Like that wasn't very fair. Why are you even giving them to me?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Pretty terrible.
So can you imagine if somebody went to work and they earned, let's say your dad went to work and he earned let's say it was $100, and then 2 months later, that the $100 was only worth $50. That wouldn't be good, would it? Because then you guys couldn't do what you normally do. You couldn't do the holidays you do, the clubs that you do, or whatever. And that's what happens for a lot. Well, it happens to us a little bit, but it's happening to some people in the world a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the reason for that is because of all this, the money problem with the notes. Now, do I want to get into that?
As in printing?
Yeah. Do you want me to get into that? Is that too...
Well, no, I think so, because we're talking about shrinkflation and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, why not? Oh, sorry, Bitty has a question or a statement?
A statement. Just
Yes.
talking about how money is made and that.
Yes.
We're going on a school trip and we're going to the place where money is, Australian money's being.
You know what?
Oh,
If you get an
interesting.
opportunity to ask questions,
Oh, go for it. What do you think about Bitcoin? Say
what
that
do
while
you
you're
think
there.
about Bitcoin, or something about what do you think about quantitative easing?
Oh, yeah.
You might have to write that down.
Yeah,
What's
what about...
that?
That basically just means making more money.
And putting it into the system or into the supply, which maybe kind of connects to the Allen Island analogy.
Yeah.
Have you told?
We're winning.
Have you? You guys haven't done it at all.
Once.
Oh, Itty.
I think we'd have won.
Have you told Itty that story?
Yeah. You wanted to. You could maybe even tell the story. Could you?
Yeah, I don't know that I've told this one.
I wasn't going to say anything about it. I was just going to say I think that I don't even know why it's called a mint, because that's a herb. But but I think they'd be pretty angry at us if the place that they made money, if someone asked about the other money, they'd be pretty grumpy, wouldn't they?
I don't think so. I think think that's a great question to ask.
Yeah. I mean. Yes. I mean that'd be. I'd love to be there for you asking that
Yeah.
question. That'd be
Oh, yeah.
great.
You can go there and ask that question then.
So here's the
Would
thing.
you?
I'll tell that story in just a slight second. But
Yep.
there's friends of ours, and I think you've maybe met one of them on the Zoom. Have just created the DAS.
Yes.
And there's a business called Looking Glass Education who have just created. And we've not seen it yet. We're looking forward to looking at it. But a course for kids, specifically for kids. I think it's kind of aimed at early teens, is what they said. Is that right?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I
So
wasn't sure.
I'm talking about a couple of years ahead of, a few years ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
But to understand all of this, would that be interesting if you got that, if somebody came into school and to teach you about these things?
I'm sorry, but I want to say no.
Why? Okay, so tell us why no.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, it's just that, I mean, I don't mind when you sometimes say it because I pick a couple of things up. And I am a bit interested in Bitcoin. I just wouldn't want the whole giant, big learning about it, because that's for you. That's not for me yet.
Not yet. So,
Not
but
yet.
what about if you were maybe just a few years older? Do you think when you're sort of thinking about maybe nearly leaving school and then coming out and starting working, do you think you need to know what money is then?
So Looking Glass isn't just Bitcoin. So it does talk about money and the whole financial system and how it affects, us.
Well, I don't really think, like when you said when we're older,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think, like, I don't know what I'm going to think of this when I'm older, so I can't exactly tell you.
That's a fair point.
Fair point.
No.
What?
Bitty?
Almost.
You can
Oh,
do
that
me for
no,
that.
yeah, that's it.
Oh,
I just hit the mic.
do you
So much
do you
work for me,
guys
dude.
do pocket money at home or jobs, or how does that work for you guys at home?
We get
If your dad's okay with talking about that.
we get $20 not Bitcoin.
Oh, nice.
We get $20 every holiday.
Right. Okay. Do you have to do jobs for that, or is that just for the holidays?
We have to do jobs.
That's cool. And what kind of jobs do you guys do?
Yeah, good question.
Oh, bang.
We-
She said Kai.
I just did it too.
That's
yeah.
okay. That's okay.
So did you.
Okay. So your
anyways.
brother.
So my brother does the dishwasher,
Mm-hmm.
and I feed the dog, take the dog out to the toilet. We both have to clean our rooms. I clean the bathroom, like me and my brother's bathroom, like the main bathroom, and also Mum and Dad's bathroom. And Mum doesn't
Wow.
trust my brother to wipe down the piano because he's not a very good cleaner apparently, and I like mopping when I can.
Has your dad ever offered to pay you in sats?
No.
Never. Do you think he should, or are you happy with the $20?
I'm happy with $20 until
I have given them Bitcoin. You've got
Yeah.
you both got green wallet.
Yeah, but like I'm happy with $20 until more stores are accepting.
So once you can spend it on something else.
Yep.
So you don't want to just save it forever. You want to be able to spend it on some things. If you've done some work, you need to get something out of that. Is that fair?
But I don't really spend my pocket money. I save it up.
Okay.
You are a very good
So
saver.
you could save
actually.
it. Well done. Yeah.
I don't get pocket money much because, like, I don't do most of the jobs, but like, I don't do a lot of jobs. I chop the celery and hang out the washing sometimes.
Well, that's pretty good.
Most of the money that I actually get are like little $1 that Dad finds in his car. And if I'm sitting there and I notice that they're there, I point them out to him, he just says, you can keep it.
How's about...
After he goes, oh, this could turn into Bitcoin.
Let's tell people about what you did at the beginning of COVID. Do you remember what we did? Do you remember what you wanted?
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
people that story.
So, I really wanted this doll, and I don't know why, but I wanted an ice cream too. But I don't know why.
'Cause it's
because-
ice cream, yeah.
That's fair enough.
I know, but like, I could have just asked Mum and Dad to pay for that, but I wanted to. I don't know why. But anyway, so Dad said that I would start off with some money, and he would put a little bit in, and I would put a little bit in, and he had an eBay shop, and he said that if I bought one of the things on his eBay shop, like bought it so it was mine, and then it sold, I would get the money that sold, and then I just kept buying things from his eBay shop, and in the end, I got $120, and I could get the doll.
Nice.
Sick. Proof of work, everyone.
Proof of work. Very cool.
Can we do something like that?
No. No, maybe.
It was good fun. Like, it was like learning the importance of, like, how, like, money doesn't just grow on trees.
Yeah.
So it, well, literally kind of used to.
Yeah.
but yeah. So you're just learning that money, you know, it's things like, I don't know, paying for food that we eat at night time. That's you know, Mum and Dad's thing.
Yeah.
But or all through the day. That we do that. But like for things that are just like extra things that you might want, then maybe you have to do a little bit of work and help out. You do a lot of helping around the house. Maybe I need to up my pocket money. So tell me about, what do you do? What were you playing just before we came on this podcast? Do you remember before these guys came around?
I was playing Club Roblox.
No, that's not what I was thinking of.
Oh, before that. No, I played Club Roblox a bit after then. Sorry.
Okay.
I was playing that new one. It was like Dad said it was a solitaire game, but I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think it's just called. What was it called? Club Bitcoin, maybe?
The one I
something
was
like
playing,
that.
the bubble one.
No, we don't have the bubble one.
It's good.
Daddy
I
didn't
like
like.
it. Daddy doesn't like it, but I
Daddy
like it.
doesn't like it because you have to pay satoshis to get into the next levels.
No, you
apparently.
don't. No, you don't. You can kind of purchase upgrades like any,
I think I was just rubbish at it.
game thing.
I think that's all that happened.
I wasn't rubbish at
Well,
it.
I'll get it. You can have it back then.
Anyway, I was playing that, and the first time I played it, I won, but the second two times, well, the last one, the Ace of Diamonds, was at the very bottom, and I couldn't get it, and the game ended.
This is solitaire.
So you know Solitaire, the game
Yeah,
that everybody
yeah.
wastes their time on in offices.
Yeah.
For years and years. So there's now Thunder Games have just brought out Bitcoin Solitaire.
Oh, they're smashing it.
Yeah. So so we were.
I got to
playing
get that one.
So yeah, if anybody right now is sitting wasting their time playing Solitaire in their office, download Thunder Games Solitaire and get some sats as well. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can I have a second? I
Yeah.
don't remember what I was
That's
going to
all right.
say.
That's all right.
That's all right. And you know what? I
Oh.
can cut this out, but I'm probably not going to.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
go.
So, Daddy was just like talking, and we were talking about like the Thunder games and stuff, because all of them, and how there was like quite a lot, and I was like, it's so cool how it's called Thunder Games. It matches a Lightning wallet, and he was like, oh, I had
never
no
thought of
idea.
that.
And I was like, how did you not know? And then when
Yes.
he went to one of his friends' place for not bing bong, ping pong. Not
Bing bong, ping pong.
So I got my words mixed up.
That's all right.
But he went to his friend's place and he'd told his friend about Bitcoin because of course he had, and his friend had like looked a bit into it and he hadn't realised that either.
Does the logo not have a lightning
Yeah.
logo in the thunder?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
yeah.
it.
I'm just that stupid.
Yes, Bitty.
Yeah.
This is really not random, but weird to say
Oh, I am
now,
all about
but,
random now.
Well, when Itty said Thunder Games or something, I thought she said Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
I thought she said that.
I can connect.
she
I
and
can
that
connect
were
those two things
talking
as well. If you
about
want
the
me to.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
The
Hunger.
What?
I just sing on every pod.
Oh, that's an AT. Is that an ACDC?
Yeah.
No, yes, an ACDC. Yeah. So, do digital things have any value to you guys? Something that's digital.
Robux.
Does it have any value?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So, what digital things do you know of that have has some value to you?
There's obviously Robux on Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tongue twister. Because there's these really cool things that you can have on games and you can change your person and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that...
Like skins and stuff, costumes and
I
things.
remember that game called Dollarify and I got the thing where you can have the pets standing beside them.
Yes.
I like that too. And yeah, I think there was maybe a couple of things. All these games get you to buy stuff. You get to a certain point and then you're like, oh, well, you can buy this and then you get the special thing. And it's just trying to make you spend money. But it's still like, if it is worth something to you and you pay that money, then that's good for you. You want that.
Yeah.
So digital things do have value if you want it. If you want something, then anything has value, basically.
Yeah.
Very
Great answer.
good answer. Okay, well done.
But like, just saying like, adding on what Itty said, Robux, it has boundaries in the game. Like some games I guess wouldn't really have any rewards, but like you could only spend Robux in Roblox. Like if you get all this stuff and it like all this, you can't spend it anywhere else. You can't transfer it to real money or
And
anything.
can you like say you get an extra, I don't know, fancy costume in one game? Can you bring that fancy costume into another game, or is it just stuck in that
it's
one game?
just stuck in that one game.
Yeah, that's frustrating, right?
It is.
Yeah.
You can buy a fancy costume in one game, but sometimes you have to be smart, and if you buy it on your avatar, then it sticks for absolutely everything.
Oh, there you go.
And
Good hack.
yeah, because if you could buy something on one game and then it would stick for that one game, and if the one game is your absolute favourite thing, then that might be good for you. But if you buy it for like the whole of Roblox, then it actually works better.
But it's still within Roblox, yes?
It's still within Roblox.
Yeah, but saying that, not maybe in the avatar shop, it might not have the same like costume that you bought in the game.
True. So you might not want to get the exact
There
one
might
that you
be-
want.
There might be just an outfit that's only in that specific game.
So it works sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah.
Which is what it is with everything.
Yeah. So what was I going to say? So, where do I start? How old is an old person?
Careful.
Your age.
Well, Dad thinks he's old. He's not young, but he's not old like Grandma.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you face the mic, baby?
I don't exactly know how old. Like, I think it's just getting to a sort of point where, like, I guess you get lots of wrinkles in, like, around maybe...
Pick a number.
I don't know. I want to say... Because, like, let's say someone's 60 and another person's 60.
Mm-hmm.
I mean... Nanny's around that age, and she's old.
Mhm.
But someone else who might be 60, they might, I guess, not really look that old or feel that old or anything.
Yeah,
so.
different. So you could be the same age, but one could be feel a bit young. One could be active and healthy and fit. And one could be sort of old and wrinkly. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Yeah. What do you reckon?
Well, I reckon that I don't really know. It's old is I feel old. I used to think that something else was old, but then when it's your birthday, you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm that old.
Yeah.
But then, and it really depends on how like you feel about it. And also, I've got a question. I know you've probably got like a great reason and this whole cool thing, but how does being old have to do with Bitcoin?
Well, what I was going to ask was, do you think so? You guys can see the value in digital things because your whole life there's been things like phones and iPads and all that kind of stuff, right? Computers. But for an old person who didn't grow up with phones and all that kind of stuff, they don't necessarily think that there's a value in things that are digital. So how would you convince them that digital things are valuable? Woof, straight up with the hands.
Good question.
Interesting.
That's
Go this way first.
Yep.
You go first?
I think because if you should if I hadn't even seen that Robux existed, let's just say, well, maybe if I knew, but I hadn't seen the things that were for Robux. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't really want it. But if you're put in front of you with something that you're like, oh, hey, that would be cool, and it's on a digital thing, like, I don't know what that would be, but like, if you saw something that was really fun on a digital thing and you wanted to get it, that would convince you that maybe other digital things aren't so bad.
True.
I don't really know how I would convince them, but it really depends on what type of person you are, I guess, depending on if you think like that digital thing is good or if you think it's useless. Like, let's say, a Kindle or something. Like, I guess they would be like us, some old people. But like, for me, I would just pick up a book or something or do an audio book.
You still prefer the book? Yeah, lots of people still prefer the book, still
Yeah.
actually like leafing through the book, and I understand that, but that doesn't mean that the Kindle is no value, because, for example, if you go on holiday and you can't take 10 books with you, maybe it makes sense to take a Kindle. Yeah? Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I agree with both of you. Kindles are good. Like what you said, Dad, like, if you had a Kindle, sometimes that's good if you go on holiday or something, or if you lose a book, books can get damaged, and it's not the perfect solution, but sometimes it can be really good because we have one, and it said it can last, like, I think it said 8 weeks with no charging, and that would be not, like, books get floppy and old, and sometimes when you, like, really need to read it, Kindles can be good. So anything can be good online, just if it has a worth to you, then it's worth something.
So how many this is just a question for Brendel, do you have any visibility on what because the library does digital downloads and all that kind of stuff now?
We do ebooks, audiobooks, all that stuff.
So do you have a split between and is there a trend in terms of
100%. 100%.
So what is the 100% is the split? No, what's the split?
Yeah. No, so
do you know?
I couldn't give you the number now, but every single year it's just going up and up and up digitally and down and down and down physically. So I mean, large print, for example, which are the bigger print books for usually elderly people or people with vision impairments, that has fallen off a cliff. I think that's possibly for a number of reasons. Those people crudely are dying. But they're also getting eye surgery, so they don't necessarily need it.
Or going to audio?
Or they're going to audio,
yeah.
Yep. But, a lot are going to ebooks and digital, and surprisingly, maybe it's predominantly elderly.
Gotcha.
You still got families coming in with their kids who still want a picture book.
We still love the books too.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's a sort of a mix, isn't it? Do you have a family that over in Ireland?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you ever do calls with them? or video calls or anything like that? Do you do that kind of stuff?
Not as much as we should, but yeah. We do.
So we sometimes do that. You know, my granny and grandpa are in Scotland, so we sometimes do it. So,
Yes. How many names did he say? Just one? Just yours?
yeah, granny and grandpa's okay. But so my mum, not computer literate at all,
Yeah.
and said that she never would be. But obviously, you take grandchildren away and you show her that there is this. I'm now really careful what I'm saying. There's this this digital thing where they can literally look at the person on a picture.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, nobody picks up the phone anymore. We all just do a video call, right?
Yeah.
So that digital thing has value to some, but you just have to find the thing that's important to the person, right? That's the same for you guys. It's the same for us. It's the same for older folks as well. You just have to find the thing that's important to you. Yeah. And that's how you convince people, and that's how you orange pill them.
That's right.
Orange?
Do you know what that means?
No.
Haven't heard orange pill. I'm surprised.
Oh, there you go.
Do you know what orange pill means?
No.
Okay. So orange pill basically. Oh no, you tell it.
Oh, it just basically means convincing somebody to get interested in.
You're not doing the Matrix thing. Although you guys. Have you seen the Matrix?
No. When I asked Daddy what his favourite movie is, he said that was his favourite movie.
Not The Big Short. That'd be up there.
The Big Short could be up there, and The Matrix, and Harley Truman, and all these shows.
All these shows that you think have something like Bitcoin or wildly, some concept that's like Bitcoin. That's what you like. Anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
I feel like Bitcoin is just related to everything because we're talking about all these different subjects and somehow we can connect them back to Bitcoin.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, Bitty.
What was I saying earlier? You say that a lot. Whenever
at the end of my
whenever I tell you anything, it all comes back to, and that's why we need Bitcoin. And sometimes I'm like, really? And sometimes I'm like, I sort of get that. And sometimes it has nothing to do with Bitcoin, and I don't know what you're talking about.
That's fair enough. But here's the thing: once actually everybody uses Bitcoin will actually become very boring. You might find it boring already, but people will stop talking about it and we'll start talking about other things. This is just
It's like the internet. You know, when the internet first came out, it was all the big buzz and everyone talking about
nobody
what it was
talks
and how
about
it
the
works.
internet
No
anymore.
one talks about it.
Just
now.
use the internet, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are actually born at the most interesting time because we're making this massive change and you're going to see it all happen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a lot of massive changes like the environment and stuff and things like that. And you said that we're probably going to know a lot more, even when it's like, or it is like the actual currency. If it is, like, people won't even know. Most people don't know the stuff behind when coins were made. This was all happening, and a couple of people like us were thinking about it, and it's going to be the same. No one thinks about coins. You just know the basics of them. You know how to use them, and that's it. All Bitcoin will be to most people is just getting a thing on your phone and tapping it to someone else's phone or something, and there you go, and that's all. No one will even know this stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing as well, is that not everybody needs to know how Bitcoin works.
They just need to
as long as it works.
They just has to work.
Yeah.
So if you turn on, if you go in your car, most people don't really understand. I mean, I couldn't make a car, right? You could make a car. None of us here could
I
make
don't
a
think
car.
you could make a picture frame, mate.
You could.
I couldn't even understand a car.
No, but have you any interest in understanding how a car?
No.
Right.
No.
So you're not the person but there needs to be somebody that understands how to make a car, right?
Yeah.
So that you can go in the car.
Yeah.
So we need people who have particular interests in particular things to be that person. Then you just use it.
Yeah.
Go on. We'll go that way this
Bitty,
time.
I think.
Wouldn't machines construct the car? Or I don't think people would hand make all the
No,
car.
but somebody designed that machine.
Yeah, but that's designing, not making it.
Why? How is designing not making? It's creating.
It's a sort of
It's part of the
combination
process.
of sort of man and
yeah.
machine, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is right, Bitty, but it's also a bit like someone's got to invent it. Robots invent things on their own. They've got to have input from humans. And I sort of like, Dad, I feel like you're saying that, not that you're the main person, but you're one of the persons who's like trying to invent the car, and that's kind of strange.
That I'm trying to invent the car? No, not at all. I just
no,
mean...
like trying to
Oh, with Bitcoin?
Like, with Bitcoin and stuff, you
No.
said how it relates to it. There has to be like a designer, but for us, it like works. And
Your
it
dad.
It sounds like you're basically saying that you're trying to help the designer or something.
I am. That's why
Yeah.
I'm trying to help. I'm certainly not the designer. I'm just an average person trying to talk about it.
He is the
And
main Bitcoin guy
in
in the world.
I'm the main Bitcoin guy in this room, but I'm slowly getting caught up, and then you guys are going to take over at the end. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean,
All right, well, I
Definitely.
reckon
Yeah.
time to wrap this one up. Have you guys got anything you want to ask or say before we go? Yep.
Well, lots of people like you asked us some of the questions. I want to ask you something. What's your favorite part about Bitcoin?
Who goes first?
Question.
I
You go
have
first.
the answer. Okay,
You
so
have your answer?
mine is the difficulty adjustment. Should we explain how that works?
Yeah, go for it. Let's hear you explain the difficulty adjustment in a
Well,
fun way.
So
You could. Sorry, no,
I don't
you go.
even know if I
Sure.
could. No, you do it.
No. Go for it.
So, sorry. So every 10 minutes, a new block is mined in Bitcoin. Do you understand about the blockchain?
Yeah, we have that game. What is it called? It's
Shamory.
yeah.
Oh, what's that
one.
like?
It's
Good.
It's
Oh, sorry. You.
it's good. It's sort of I forgot like most of the rules, but it has something to do with that, and I sort of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so, how do you explain this? I suppose in mining,
Yeah.
the equations, the things that are getting solved are a certain difficulty, yes? And then, am I going to get this wrong?
Go for it. Let's do this, because I know I might not do this very well either. Go for it.
And so,
This is the problem, right? This is the problem. It's not easy to explain
No.
this. What's happening here
basically,
in a way that
okay,
everybody's going to
yeah, basically, in the, I guess the code, the difficulty of mining changes depending on demand and supply. Is that
So how many? Imagine it like this. This is probably the best analogy think I've heard. It's not mine. Imagine there was a lottery, and you bought one ticket for the lottery. The chances of winning the lottery are quite small, right?
Like
So-
a million to one.
Yeah, probably even more, right?
Yep.
So, but yeah, you're not a big chance of winning the lottery, but so you would have more chance of winning the lottery if you bought more tickets, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, what Bitcoin miners do is buy tickets for a lottery, right? So their idea is, oh, well, if I buy more tickets, then I've got more chance of winning.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's much
I
better.
guess. Is that
much
that thing
better.
that you showed me with the squiggly line?
What did I show you with a squiggly line?
The squiggly line you showed me, the Bitcoin thing.
Hash rate. I show you Bitcoin hash rate.
You showed
Wow.
well, you showed me once like this squiggly line that had something to do with Bitcoin.
And what did I say when I
I
showed you
have
squiggly line?
no idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry for showing you that. So if so you're buying tickets for the lottery, right? And the way Bitcoin works is that on average, every 10 minutes, more Bitcoin will be produced for another 110 years, something like that, until we have the whole 21 million total. But so a lot of people want to take part in this competition to try and win some Bitcoin because Bitcoin they think is valuable, so they buy more and more tickets. But they also have to spend. They have really three costs in order to buy the tickets. They have themselves. So they have that's their job, and that's their salary. They have the computers that they use to specifically do it, and then they have the electricity that the computers use to try and guess, right, to buy these lottery tickets. So when the electricity is the big cost, right? So and the computer's quite expensive, the person not so much. So when but when the electricity prices go up, and the Bitcoin price comes down, it becomes less maybe the cost of electricity costs more than the prize of Bitcoin. So if the prize of, let me just put it this way, if the prize in the lottery was $1 million, you wouldn't spend $1.5 million
To try
and win the lottery, would
Yes,
you? Because
yes.
you just lose $500,000. Yeah. So that's what happens to Bitcoin miners. So sometimes it's hard. Sometimes the cost of electricity is high, sometimes it's low. And sometimes there's more people in the competition. Sometimes there's less. So Bitcoin spits out a new block every 10 minutes, but it goes up and down and averages 10 minutes. So the difficulty adjustment is the thing that corrects it, so to make it easier or harder to win the lottery.
Yep.
So
How's that?
that was why you were talking about solar panels.
So yes, so these guys have them at their house. Yeah.
Well, what about
Your favourite thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. What?
My favourite thing is, so since Brenda's taken that one,
Was that going to be it?
Once you get into Bitcoin, and the difficulty adjustment is just like, for me, it's just art. It's unbelievable. But so if I can't pick that, I just have to pick the hard cap.
Yeah.
So that just means that there can only ever be 21 million. So it makes something absolutely scarce. So let's say you guys both want. Let's say you guys are in a group of about 5 of you at school, right? So let's say you were all into, I don't know, something you guys are all into.
Robux.
Okay.
Roblox.
Roblox.
Oh, well, that's not
Yeah.
because it's infinite. But something that there can only be 4 of.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that. Oh, those limited things that we were talking about. The ones that you can only get them in a certain time.
There you go. So a limited thing.
I mean, you don't know. Well, it's sort of like you don't know how many there can be. It depends on the people how many people buy it. But it's still only there for a limited time, so not everyone can buy it.
Yeah. So essentially, it's just scarcity. Yeah. So that's my favorite thing about Bitcoin.
Yep.
Scarcity.
Because then
And
no one.
unchangeable.
Because then no one can come in and say, but I have more than you, because they can't. That's not like, as in that island thing you were talking about shells. If 2 people have 50 shells each and that's their currency, and then a person comes in with 100 shells, they can't do that because there's only 100 shells there.
Exactly.
That's what you were telling me about.
Exactly.
Cool.
We can send people back to that one if you want to.
What?
The one with the island and stuff.
Yeah. Unless you want to talk about it. Well,
I can if you want me to again, but
I don't know. Have you got anything you want to add? You okay? You got the coughs?
no, if we've got a cost, we'll round it up and we'll maybe do another one another time.
Yeah.
How's that? How does it feel to have your first appearance on a podcast?
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you do it again?
Maybe. See how you come across. See if you're popular.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to say anything to the people?
Bye.
Thanks
What about
for
you?
listening.
Yeah. Nice.
Do you want to send them off to your Twitter handle or your website?
Yeah. All right. So yeah.
Well
Look at that. And the wife's calling.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's all right. I can't even do that. That's still recording at the moment. Oh, sugar.
You right?
Hello. Hello. I've just hit stop on this.
It's still recording.
What's up? You're on my watch at the moment, baby. So nothing rude.
Don't swear.
You,
Or you're good in the jar.
you said that you would pay for the jar, so.
I will pay for the jar.
Oh, I've literally been. No. I'll get it.
Yeah, so
You
we
don't get to hop up,
did
bud.
it
Oh,
2
can I-
times. You did it about
Oh, she's
3.
hung up on me. Oh no, she didn't. I'll just hang up on her.
Dad, so we did.
Hey, grab your phone, please.
What about we just cancel the jar for today?
Cancel the top. Nah,
No, we'll pay. We'll pay.
Okay.
We'll beep it out. It's okay.
I did it once. You did it once. I think I did it twice. And I think Brendan did it a couple
Yeah.
of times too.
It's okay. We're gonna give it to a good cause. It's okay. You guys want to go and have a play, or you?
Oh, the boys. Oh, sorry. It's just organising a movie thing. Yeah, you guys can run
What
off
is
if you want
that?
for now.
DC
She just wants to know if you want to go to that.
When Superman.
Do you want to have a play?
The description.
Yeah. You guys want to have a play?
Yeah, I wanted to.
So what was it? You want to what?
I wanted to have a play with.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
What?
That's fine.
I don't want to go, but I also want to
Play.
Okay. I just called you.
Itty and Bitty and... Where are you going?
I'm sorry I said I was very... Because what car do you think I meant? You know guys from Scotland.
Oh yeah, it's okay, we'll beat
I
Kai.
wish you had that hard drive, dude.
That's a bit creepy. What?
What is that?
Just so,
Oh,
so we can get you started. So you can sync while you're
It
away and
is
just
a bit
run.
creepy.
Do you want me to tackle this stuff for you when you're away? Put it in your green bin.
No, I want them guys who put the fence up to come and get it. Like,
Yeah, but they probably won't.
well, they're gonna.
Oh shit, that's still going. Hey,
They're gonna.
they're gonna. Play with
Or
us.
I'll be on Facebook slamming their business. Local group.
I just said would rather play with. And she goes, play with herself. Okay. Not yet.
Itty bitty idiot. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Is that no? I mean, don't. If you